Now, with all humility and considering it as my greatest privilege, I request His Holiness Hadhrat Mirza Masroor Ahmad Ayadullah Ta'ala bin Azrael Aziz to address the august audience.
أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله أما بعد فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم All the respected and honorable guests, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Peace and blessing of Allah be upon you all. First of all, I would like to thank all the distinguished guests who have joined us here today. This action of yours bears testimony to the fact that regardless of one's religion, you deem it necessary to show compassion, brotherly love, and respect for the feelings of others. In this day and age, when there is a chaos all around, everyone is in the selfish pursuits of seeking fulfillment of one's vested interests and expects his or her needs to be met without giving a thought to discharging the rights due to others. This affectionate gesture of yours in coming here today is indeed praiseworthy. It would be unfair if my Jamaat, that is community, and I do not acknowledge this. In daily life, we observe that to harbor grudges and ill feelings is very easy. But to win hearts and promote love is very difficult. From societies on a lower level to countries on a larger level, grievances and suspicions easily develop in people's hearts, and these then lead to ill feelings, vindictiveness, and resentment. And ultimately, we see open quarrels and disputes amongst people and between nations. On one hand, we claim that due to the ever-growing impact of education on our lives, we are more knowledgeable and civilized than we were before. Whilst, on the other hand, our level of tolerance in all matters is reducing by the day. The flames of religion's hatred keep on smoldering inside us and show their effects suddenly. Greed is growing amongst people. Instead of holding onto what we have, there is an eye on what the other has. Once we claim to belong to a global village, then we have to act as as is expected of a global village. That is, a place where each other's rights are discharged. properly and where everyone lives in peace and harmony. A place where there is tolerance and respect for each other's religion, and a place where rather than wrongfully acquiring the resources of others, people utilize their own resources for the betterment of all mankind. Here in India, religion has played a major part in its history. This land has accommodated a large number of religions, and especially in this part of the country, all religions are represented, as has been mentioned by the Honorable Mayor. People of different religions in this area have been living and continue to live in peace and harmony with each other. However, they can only do so if they do not come under the influence of some materialistic people with vested interests who try to disturb the peace of the society by causing people to rise against each other solely for their selfish gains. Hence, once God Almighty has given man knowledge and wisdom, then it is imperative for him to use these God-given faculties to promote peace and harmony in the society and stay away from the clutches of such materialistic people. I remember the conversation I once had with a Ghanaian and an engineer from Kerala whilst living in Ghana. The Ghanaian asked me who I was, to which I replied that I was Pakistani. He then asked me the difference between an Indian and a Pakistani. But before I could say anything, the man from Kerala answered by saying, "We are one. It is only geographical division that separates us." In reality, no matter where in the world we come from, we are one and the same, with the same needs and necessities. And as far as religion is concerned, everyone has and must have the right to profess his or her own religion. In terms of humanity, we have to properly discharge the rights owed to one another. All religions of the world teach respect for mankind. We Ahmadis believe that God Almighty sent prophets to all people. Some are mentioned in the Holy Quran, whilst others are not.